It got to a boiling point though when we were told that this drag king named Hugo, who also calls himself slut, excuse the language on here, slut
Yep.
and stripper. That was his other name and his other occupation as a R18 adult entertainer. Basically was holding two events at libraries, and that's we heard he was reading to children. That was quite blatantly out there in the open. And also this guy had been given $1.2 million by the New Zealand On Air to have these kiddie shows jacked up. So this is what council, this is what the government, this is what taxpayers' money is going to, is actually feeding these guys who are feeding our children pure filth. I can hardly, I've got to probably say it's close to grooming, and pedophiles and predators are into this sort of stuff. So this is the depth of where it's got to, and they haven't had much resistance except from us. And I'm not saying that other people haven't said anything, because there's a lot of good people who don't like this. There are groups and organisations, but they don't take notice of people with keyboards and words. We had the ability to put feet on the ground, have action. That's why what came about in the weekend, I was at home actually, I still am here, because my dad has only got 2 or 3 days to live.
I'm sorry to hear it.
Yeah. So all my family were here and all this was going down. But my team were out there and they said, look, we should swing some banners on the main road. And I said, well, actually, this is quite serious, and I think we should do a bit more. And I think you should go to the first library where this King Hugo is, and he's got some children he's reading to, and I think we need to make a statement. People are not getting this. They do get it, but they don't get the fact is that they'll carry on as long as you don't resist it or come up against it and make it, put it in the public arena. So I said you need to get tickets if you can. They did. They got some tickets, some of them. Go to the library. Not violent. We're not violent people. But go in because they'll try and stop you. They'll see your T-shirts and they know what's coming. They're quite savage. At the door, they wouldn't. They started spitting, some of them, because they saw the men up tops. Yeah, they were spitting outside. Some of them were starting to get quite bold and were purposely putting themselves in front of the guys and some of the ladies. And one of our men said to the police nearby, we want to make a complaint that we've been touched, pushed, and the policeman just didn't ignore it, just walked away. So the guys just actually barged in. And you've seen the video like 50 million other people, 98% are for us. They agree. In fact, they turned into a bit of a revolution against woke. Anyway, so that's how it started. And then they must have gone into action. I think they reported the police and started to say the usuals. Oh, there's violence and someone's punched me. And that's all lies. We're used to that. So it all came out, and that's when we left it. And I was busy here, and I got another call from my man and said, well, we did that. There's a bit of stuff here going on. I said, that's okay. And I said, I understand he's in a second location. You need to get the guys and go there as well.
Yeah.
So they did. But when they arrived and they heard about it, they cancelled him. So that's a victory to us. Cancelling this R18 adult entertainer who has a shocking resume, he was cancelled. Yeah. So by this time, they were really upset. And the media took it to some, I don't know, I was busy actually. I didn't look at my phone much. I just had a gut instinct that they were having their major march down Ponsonby Road.
Yep.
So I phoned my man again and I said, you see the young ones that you're doing the haka with? I said, these are the guys that are really pure. They are our youth. I spent only 2 weeks ago with about 300 or 400 of them. They're called Gen Z. They've been kids of the adults that have been very ardent and committed supporters to Destiny Church. So they kind of got the DNA in them, you know. They're bold, they love God, they're very dedicated to the church's mission. And I talked to them about passing the torch on. Like I've been doing this for a long time. Some of you guys will have the opportunity. And by circumstances I'll explain to you, because I've been here with my dad, I said to them, you need to go down to the main street, Ponsonby. I said to my leader, rally the troops, my administration team are right now working with you, internal comms, so that you can know what's going on and hop in front of it as it leads its procession down the main Ponsonby Road. One of our guys works in the police. He got a hold of the police at that time and said, we're going to do a haka. They basically said, oh, okay, 3 minutes only. We got that down. They were basically tying up all of the barriers so that people couldn't get over. But a lot of our guys got down quickly and opened it up, and they just poured on. Because I said, when you go on, do it quickly, because they'll try and stop you. Get out there and start. But the police did. They went across and they did it. Our thing was, look, this has gone too far. Funny that the Prime Minister uses that word on me. I've gone too far in trying to protect our children from these sexual monsters. And I think it blew up. We really broke the back of the Pride Month in Auckland, no doubt about it. We killed it on Saturday.
I think the main concern for a lot of people is the worry about the children that were scared and frightened and hiding.
Well, there's a lot of children up on the side of the Ponsonby Road at that time. And what I saw was more scarier. Coming down the main road, men dressed as women, little miniskirts on with their private parts hanging down. I think that's scarier, isn't it? And I don't, for the life of me, know why these people would think that this is great to take your children to. I don't know what's scary about us. We're not violent. We've been protesting I have for 40 years. And I've never been involved in violence. So they know. But you know how the media work? First of all, Wayne Brown condemns us, and I thought, good, because I'm going to flush these people out, and we're going to see who's woke and who isn't woke. I'm the furthest thing from woke. So Wayne Brown comes, so we all know he's woke. Number 2 to come up was the CEO, banning ManUp from all city council buildings, and ManUp can't meet anywhere. So now they're discriminating. So he's woke. So the whole of the Auckland City Council funded that march to the tune of $27,000 just for them to march. Then another $17,000 for associated costs to that march. Heck, I've never got a single dollar to ever march for protesting for things that are worthy, and good and right. But here's this filthy perversion getting funded by you and me, our taxpayers' money. And same with Hugo, funded $1.2 million by New Zealand On Air to actually back up little children's shows. We're paying that so he could pollute and poison the minds of our younger generation. They had the Labour Minister, Chris Hipkins.
Oh, your friend.
He tried to try to describe to me what a man is. He doesn't know what a woman is.
Yeah, that was a bit of a crack up.
That was fun. I laughed at that. I took that as a real great opportunity to write back up a funny turn to what I saw as somebody who hasn't got a clue what a woman is.
Yeah.
I don't think he knows what a man is either, but he did say I was a boy.
Yeah, I'm quite passionate about ManUp and what ManUp does. My husband's involved and he helps facilitate in the Kaipara region. So what we're up against is on the Mangawhai community page, the admins have put out that anything to do with ManUp, anything to do with destiny, anything to do with legacy will no longer be allowed on the pages. And I know that the Mangataroto page is following suit and lots of other community pages, which I find to be so devastating. We've worked with 450 high-at-risk youth over 23 years. We see firsthand the damage and the trauma that they've gone through. And now they want to, a lot of these young adults have actually reached out for the help they have via the likes of social media and these community groups. And now they're being shut down. So we sort of just wanted to know your voice on that.
Yeah, well, that's what I say is the council is also cancelled, back into cancel culture. And they've cancelled all our local ManUp. I just smile to myself and I think, there you go. they've exposed themselves as being pro these drag kings and queens, story reading to our kids and basically sexualizing them. I mean, that's what they're pro. When these people put this up on these boards, they're showing that they're pro woke in this country. And it's not a time to sort of feel like, we're now being judged by people who got no idea what's going on. They need to be informed that our country is in deep trouble.
Hmm.
And if we are
Anti-family.
anti-family, that's exactly right. Anti-family, we're very anti-family.
Yep.
And that's why I decided to stand up. My men and my young fellas, they were willing to go to great lengths, and now they're threatening their jobs. A lot of them had their jobs, and they're trying to phone their employers to get them sacked because they stood up for protecting our children against these weird people. How do you like that? Here you got this filth down the main road of our biggest city being condoned by the police, condoned by government, condoned by mainstream media, and condoned by a lot of blind parents. This is a good fight. This is a good fight. This is a time to be brave, to stand up, and for people like yourselves to say, okay, well, that's fine. We'll find another place and we'll continue. This is all going to really be brought to light. That's what I'm doing.
Yes. Yeah, we're going to release an article soon about Therians, fairies. Recently, I had a 10-year-old girl tell me that she identified as a Therian, which is an animal, and they dress up as such. One of the first events in Auckland was helped and funded through the LGBT community. And these are 10-year-olds that naturally play. They do pretend play, and here they are being told, no, you have a spiritual connection, and we, the LGBT community, will wrap around you and love on you. So that's what, we're talking about at the moment as well.
Yeah, well, I think that's great. And you just said courage is contagious, and so if you stand up, don't be afraid or intimidated by them. And if the locals, like where you are, get together and say, hey, you don't need common sense even for this stuff. This should be instinctive to any mother and any father. This is wrong. A man dressing up as a woman, a girls or kids at school told that they've got to question their gender and that they're born in the wrong body is evil. And any parent should be really, guarded against that. But we have a lot of people who are quite gullible. And we just need to be really quite vocal and fight, stand up and say, no, we don't believe that stuff, and continue to get people into seeing why we need to build strong families. We need to stay together. I don't hate anybody. We don't hate them. But we can't let this continue to proliferate in our communities. It's all in our schools up here in Auckland. We've got a lot of emails and messages from parents where their kids are coming back questioning their gender, and they don't even, when they ask them, where did you get that from? And they said, from school. But that's been confirmed to me with this being sent to every principal in the nation. Every principal's received this from the Department of Education. They're basically saying that now the RSEs are compulsory in schools. That means they are now pushing the fact is that every state school and state integrated school it's compulsory to teach the RSEs. They've got to get 5 hours at least a week into the kids. They've got to get this teaching about anal sex, about masturbation, about knowing that you don't have to be a male or female, that you can choose your sexual orientation as you grow along the way, transgendering and the options for surgeries. This is all given to 5-year-old kids upwards. And that's why I sent my guys out. I want the nation to have a conversation about the sickness that's in society, that's in schools, and that's in our communities.
Yeah. So just in closing, what would your message be to parents? There's a lot of parents that don't even know what's going on in the curriculum and going on in the schools. So what would your message be to families and parents?
A lot of information is withheld from the public because mainstream media don't give it.
Right.
Follow me on the first thing, follow me on X. I'm on X, and if you follow me on X, Brian Tamaki, you will be up to date with a lot of information. and also my Tamaki Lives, which is tonight at 7 o'clock, right across the country in every town and every city. We have contacts not only with ManUp and Legacy, but also with people who are for this. They're for common sense. They're for getting our country, again, the right side up. So they'll get all that info through that page on the X. It's one of the best ways, and then they can get it from there.
Awesome. Hey, thanks so much for speaking to us.
Thank you.
And
Yeah.
getting to say it all and not having it edited to whatever mainstream media would like to.